In this instructional DVD, volleyball players will learn how to receive a serve or hit while playing defense. The main motor skills we will be covering will be how to bump and set the volleyball. Players should be at the intermediate level and already know the basics on how to bump and set properly. The following 3 drills have been developed to help players develop consistency in passing and bumping skills while playing defense. Players can move on to the next drill once they return all throws and passes within each drill without error and with correct form.
The first drill will be split up into 3 practices. In the first part, we will focus on repetition with block practice, where the player will start by practicing 10 bumps and then 10 sets while standing stationary. In order for the player to distinguish between the 2 skills, the coach will throw an overhand lob to indicate a bump and an underhand toss to indicate a set. In the second part of the drill, the player will move on to serial practice. The coach will alternate between an overhand lob and an underhand toss as the player returns the pass with either a bump or a set. In the last part of drill 1, the coach will randomize all the passes and the player must receive all of them accordingly, without error and with correct form in order to move on to the next drill.
In the second drill, the player will progress onto receiving the pass either to the left or to the right of them. In the first part, players will practice 10 bumps to the left, 10 bumps to the right, then 10 sets to the left, and 10 sets to the right. The player can move on once they return all bumps and sets without error and with correct form. In the second part of the drill, coaches can randomize either overhand or underhand tosses indicating either a bump or a set, randomly throwing the ball either to the left or to the right. In the last drill, players will progress to receiving shorter or longer passes. They will have to either shuttle backwards or dive forward for the ball. In the first part, coaches will throw 10 far tosses and 10 short tosses. In this drill, players will only perform bump passes. Players may move on to the next part if they at least make contact with the ball. In the last portion of practice, the coach will randomize the throws in whichever order, and players must either dive for the ball or shuffle backwards to bump longer passes. Players may move on once they've made contact with the ball on all passes.